Hey guys, this is Spray and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be covering the keys of becoming a successful opera on City Side Inferno. First of all, I would like to start and give you guys a general idea of what is being an opera on City Side Inferno and how do you make the best of it. And then we'll go more in depth on different peaks that you guys can do, how the rotational part should have been played, and general notes that I have. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first of all, when you first get it up, I'd say that the most important thing is trying to get an entry or putting your pressure with just like doing peaks and shooting your op in like a general area of the map. So you would generally like do your peak, try to like kill. If you get a kill, you get a kill. If not, you would try to like rotate around all the way to like a different place or even a different side and try to like make sure that they don't exactly know where you are at all times. That makes it really difficult on the other team, the opponent, to read you and try to execute on you or avoid you, right? You would generally want to avoid the op on long range duels, and you would want to explode on like rifles most of the time because an op can kill you with one shot. Um, so that is the general idea. First of all, I would like to start with peaks, with different peaks you guys can do. So there are some like there are a lot of peaks, but generally the ones that I like, peaks, holds, and different things that you guys can do and how you can rotate off of it. Generally things that I enjoy doing, specifically, and I tell my team to do and my operator to do as well. Stuff that we use in our team and stuff that I think are still good and valuable. So the first one will be like just posting up towards bulk right here, posting just the left side. That's something that a lot of teams do nowadays. A lot of players generally like walk up the stairs and they would like try to clear you, but again, you have the one shot potential, right? So you probably kill that guy. A lot of teams do get a guy jumped up here on bulk and they double peek this. So that's why you will need your lane player or your other like ops player to try and control this area. Do a molly like this, where they can't really like jump up or even like sit in boiler like this, like watching the peak, like jiggle peeking, so the guy can't peek here. Generally, you would want to hold this position up until like 125, 130, because that's generally the timing people take up apps. If by 125 they didn't really like push you, you would need to rotate off and like switch into a different setup. So what I would like to do generally like is shoot the op, make a presence. They'll know that you're apps. As soon as they know that, you, for example, can rotate towards Moto. You can switch with your Arch player, and you can generally take the Moto side. So that's like one peak you guys can do, or one hold that you guys can do. The other peak would be generally apps peak. I think everybody saw that from Nifty. So you guys can literally jump up from the beginning of the round, scope up early so they don't hear you, walk all the way around like down here, and get that angle. Make sure you guys hold both of the angles at the same time and don't go too wide, because then they can pick you from the right. While you do this, your teammate should be supporting you from behind and like literally walking up with you and watching the jump up. You get the skill, same thing applies. You try to fall off. You have util, so you'll try to util it off, and you'll fall back into a different area. Things you can go to is more of like arch, I'd say, so you control like the wrap here, or even like if there's some sort of B pressure, you can go towards B and retake B with your op, which is really easy. We'll get into it as well. Another peak that I specifically think is really good is you get like the best spawn. The best spawn is probably right here around this area. So you get the best spawn, you'd run down. This one I really enjoy. So you jump up, you see information. As soon as you did that jump, you see anyone like sitting here on ramp. So you jump across, you see someone, you don't see anything, and you just repost in. As soon as you repost in, the guy can either be Mexi because he could jump on a timing, or like someone just right now peeking you, or even the guy that already peeked you like took a shot, you baited a shot, and then you repost into it. So that's really easy to get like that re-kill. And then off of like this, what I either like to do is keep that like mid control. So if you don't see anything, obviously you want to keep that mid control for as long as you can. Now remember, there are taking apps at 130, so you would want to like generally run back, either that or like have your lane player like smoke further, and then you keep that control, because if they are trapped in banana, you can literally trap them, and if they try to come back, you take a shot and you kill them. If not, I would generally take a shot at 130 and I would rotate around. I would go towards arch or even repost towards bulk with another guy with you, right? Like have that controlling phase that we spoke about at the beginning. And then you can go towards arch. That's the other rotation you can do. Or you can go towards B. You can stay lane. But just notice that if you do stay lane, people might expect that. And generally what teams do is they molly this and they smoke in too long. And if you'll be posting up lane, you'll pretty much be burned away. Okay, so it'll be needed to force off either way. Okay, so generally like that's why you want to rotate around, because people will expect you. They will use util on you to clear you, and it will be really hard to keep that angle on you. Okay, so another peek you guys can do. That's more of like another mid peek that I generally like to do. You'll get your lane player with you to molly down mid, so they can't really like peek into you here. And then you can swing towards alt while the molly is still up. They can't see you from ramp, so that's a really big positive. You can catch a guy jumping, then you can rotate around. You can hold this alt angle, which is pretty safe as well if you think that there is one more. Try to get a kill. If they start throwing util at you, you can just fall back and just play from arches or from library and just control grab, for example. Or depending on what is happening on B, you can also rotate towards B and reaggress with your op, or just hold B with your op. That is another peek I like to do. Now on lane you have two really neat peeks that I like to do. So right off the bat, what you can do is like you have the spawn, you go towards lane, and you do the broom peek. This is the broom peek, so you hold this broom angle. What is really important is that you don't just hold out, because they can crouch peek you. They have the peeker's advantage, so you would want to like kind of like hide, peek, hide, peek, hide, peek. Try to catch off a guy walking up on mid like this. You get the skill. Same thing applies. You're making them guess where you go next. So you got the skill at the beginning of the round. You rotate towards long. You take up that long angle like this, and you can pretty much just control mid. So you want to make them guess at all times where you stay. The other peek, I don't have anyone with me, and my server doesn't have bots or whatnot, but a guy would boost you up right here, so he's not seen from ramp. You would go on top of here, jump on his head, and then you can pick into ramp, which is also really good, and I really enjoy that. Okay, so those are the things that you guys can do to lane. Again, you will take a shot and generally want to go towards moto or long. Okay, so now we are going towards the peaks towards B. The most common peak is having a teammate throwing the Furia smoke for you, so you just tuck into this corner, smoke like this, come here and do a flash at 146 for the upper to peek. You as an upper, you have a couple options to peek with this. So basically on one way towards car, you can peek this with a flash, or you can peek in front of it. That smoke generally gives you a one way and extinguishes the molly, so you can peek either in front of it or behind it. Now a lot of the teams would counter that with like a shallower molly or like a deeper molly even towards this area. Sometimes like it will spread, sometimes it won't land, and to make people guess, just like pre-fire that angle as well, to make people guess what you can also do with the smokes, you will generally like have this smoke thrown, the flash, you as an opera, you don't throw any util, just come up here. The third guy towards B can boost you up, you get boosted, and you peek like this, so they're not expecting your peek from there, from the boost, and you can get pretty much free kills like that. Now this is the tricky part, because as soon as you get a kill on B, you wouldn't really want to give up that control on banana. So you got the kill on B and you know that there is no one else in B and banana going in like as of the opponent. You would want to keep the control with it up, because it's really easy. This is a really like a really tight angle that you can hold with an op, where they pretty much have to go through with flashes and whatnot, and you can literally like when they try to retake it, you can get a kill and fall back and still solo towards B and have a retake and have full like 4 strong riflers towards A, which is really strong. So this is the only time on this map where I would say like if you get a kill towards B, you would want to generally leave your upper towards banana, controlling banana like for as long as you can. Now that you can even drop smokes, like while you rotate off, you can drop your upper smoke or a molly as well, like an extra one, and your upper can keep like smoking this, for example, up until the help comes in. You can just keep the control for as long as you can. Something to note, like on that, I'll give you guys a tip. If you're a rotational B player and you want to rotate towards towards A after you got a kill or whatever, make sure that you have a flash, so when you come back and someone needs help, you can flash for them like while the people are running in. So that is really important. Okay. So now we are going to talk about what we do after the peaks exactly and why. So generally speaking, think about your opponent as of trying to exploit you at all times. You have the most valuable gun in the game 90% of the time, and you would want to make the most impact out of it. Impact doesn't come just through kills, it comes through also like supporting your teammates and knowing what you do and when you do it. We'll go through some pro examples as well of like peaks and what they did after peaks, but generally speaking, as I said, you would want to shoot your op somewhere and go the other place, just so they clear you as much as they can with util. So just for example, a general idea, like if you would peek down mid and you get a kill here, they will put an emphasis onto going towards either B or re-clearing mid with a lot of util. So they would throw like a left side smoke, a molly here, few flashes, and they will try to take mid. Alright, just as an example. So for example, it would be really strong if you take a shot towards long, then you would go all the way around to lane. You'd get one more guy with you ready for this molly so you can smoke it off. You'll try to get another kill. The other thing where you can do is, like, depending on if they took banana or not, you can go and help them. So if they didn't take banana, or even if they did, you can just repost. But if they didn't take banana, you take a shot, you go towards B and you go back to take banana with them because you just lost control of mid. If they did take banana, what else you can do is like take a shot towards mid, you can kill whatever. And go towards B and repost and switch with the B anchor player to get banana control with the knob. And then you again have 4 strong riflers towards A. So generally this is the concept on every single peak. Like if we go towards a lane peak, same thing applies here. You would take a shot, try to get a kill, go towards long for example, have this, or the B thing is pretty much the same thing. Same thing with an apps peak and same thing with the B peak, although like I would say that in B again, you would generally want to keep that control with you unless they are swarming you. If, for example, you saw more than one with your B peak and you know that they're going in banana, you should probably just help your teammates take it and then leave it. If not, then you should stay. Okay. So there is another aspect to awping on this map, and it's reaggressing. So when would you want to reaggress and why? On this map specifically, you would want to reaggress either if you lose control or if you don't have information at a certain time. So for example, the guys on B are playing retake and they're playing like either like one CT, one doing like retake nades, and they don't have any information towards B while they like already took like car control, or you have info that they took mid or something like that. And you don't have info all the way, like you don't have info on B, you don't have anyone jump spotting here after they took banana, you don't know how many are towards B, as well as you don't know how many are towards A. At a time where you don't have information and you don't have control, you would want to retake a control, right? So a couple of reaggressions you guys can do with your op is the lane reaggression, have someone ready with you. Generally you would want to repost towards boiler, and that's it. That is like as far as I would go with an op. I would repost towards boiler. I would gain this control, right? I would support my teammate that comes up with me, and I would have the third guy just flashing for me, for my teammate more than not, and my teammate would white swing, try to get this information. If it baits an op shot, I would generally like peek this, and I would hold this. And then my teammate just swings here, he gets the kills if the flash lands here, and then we can just trade off each other. That's one reaggression you guys can do. The other reaggression would be a long reaggression, where I would just like again scope up, walk up with the op, and get to this angle. As soon as I clear this angle, my teammate can cross here, and he can hold this angle with me, and it's kind of like a crisscross. Then that's how I regain control towards mid as an example, and that's what you guys can do when you guys don't have any information. There's also a reaggression which you rarely see, but it's still useful, I'd say, in some scenarios, is reaggressing ops with an op and have a teammate with you, so you would control generally like the left side because it's easier to kill, as we spoke about before, and your teammate will control the right side. And the other reaggression is you can leave 2 guys on A playing a side setup, like one side, one pit, or a double pit, or bulk pit setup, and then you would go towards B. Now note, as an opera, if you rotate, this makes noise, and guys like towards car, towards this area would be able to hear you if a guy gets to this corner. So just to be safe, you would want to rotate all the way toward from CT. You would like to scope up early so they don't hear your scope, and generally like just walk. You walk towards B and you regress towards this angle. Now you can do that with a flash or without a flash, so you walk with your op and again a teammate is right behind you like clearing this, or you can have a third teammate come up here, have a safe flash from here, flash you in, and you just don't scope. Obviously, you just wait for the flash, peek with the flash. Clear this, and then your teammate also whites him. So those are the ways that you can reaggress towards banana, A, or B and gain more information. So generally speaking, we covered how to peek, different peeks that you guys can use, and what to do after the peeks that you guys need to be in nuisance, like move around all the time, not being a like stationary target, and not like making your opponent not know where you're going to be in your next step. Always be ahead of your opponent, and always make your opponent waste a lot of util and a lot of time clearing and thinking where you can be after a certain peak. As well as manipulating where they go. So if you generally took a shot towards A, they would want to end towards B where there is no AWP, because again, it's easier to clear angles and it's easier to know what angles the players would play in. As well as if you took a shot towards B, they would think that it's only 2A and they would rush towards A. Just examples like that. So generally we covered that, we covered the peaks, we covered the reaggressions. Now I would like to show you guys some pro players that doing the same things we spoke about, some examples from live games. So let's get right into it. Okay, so right here we're watching OC, Extra OC against Renegades. OC is a really good AWPer, really tough AWPer to play against. He is always moving around on this map. Not necessarily getting all the kills all the time, but he's moving a lot. So the first thing we're going to look at is B peaks. Right here you're going to see that OC does go towards B. He has JT throwing the smoke and the flash for him, which is something we covered already. Right here OC is going to throw a smoke, molly and a flash for himself. And make a boost peak, which we showed but not really visually, so you guys will be able to see how it is. So he throws the molly, he throws a flash for himself as well, which you guys can support yourself as well if you guys don't trust your teammates as much. JT. Yeah, so right here you're gonna see him jumping on top of Floppy. He will get flashed eventually and drop off the angle, but because Floppy did molly towards logs right there, you can see, and there is a close molly, he knows that the only angle he can be is the broom angle on the left. So he's going to get reboosted, and he's going to clear banana. He sees nothing is in banana. We're gonna fast forward a bit. Floppy stays here. JT is already rotated towards A. I'm sorry, he's already on A by this time. They are still boosted towards B. You're going to see that he clears banana, gets a smoke, deep smoke from Floppy, and he generally just keeps banana with his op. As we spoke about, if you have a banana with your op, you generally want to keep that. The next round, we're going to see a similar thing. He goes towards B, just a bit of a different peak. Same thing, you're going to see a smoke, the same smoke, and the same flash, and the same support. Right here is going to peek behind the smoke, get a cheeky one-way right there, keep banana control. We're going to fast forward. He did get flashed off. He did help his team keep that control with him. Floppy stayed with him, and they retook the control, and he just posted up. Right, pretty simple peek. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. So right here, we're going to see an example of how do you support your team as well as an operator. So right here is going to drop util for the guys on B. He's going to go towards short to take the control, and he's going to take a shot, show his presence in the way, and go towards back towards B, towards long, sorry. So right here, he goes towards B. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. He's going to help them with util. She's dropping his util. Doing a close molly and a deep nade just to make sure that the B guys have more util for late round as well. He's rotating towards lane right there. He's gonna reaggress mid. As we spoke about reaggressions, they don't have banana control right here, and they didn't have mid control, so he's gonna reaggress with his teammates. He has 3 guys reaggressing right here, so Floppy is indeed towards JT is indeed towards A. He's going to reaggress towards long with the guys on mid. So they got a flash from Marky, the flash we spoke about, and they're gonna peek into it with the flash. So he peeks into the angle, gets the control. They know that they're in mid. A guy smoked from lane, so they know that there is a guy in lane. He did his re-smoke from lane, so if someone notices that, they do think that it is just 2 guys on lane, and he's going to control wrap. Even though they put a lot of pressure towards B, he's just going to control wrap. So he put his smoke, just some sort of presence. He smoked from lane, went towards long. Alright, so this is a perfect example on how to be all around the map. Alright, so let's go to the next clip. A bit of a different thing all the time. You're gonna see an operator just doing that all the time. I just want to show you some live examples so you guys can see how those things work in game. Okay, so in this round we are going to see OC once again doing a different peak. He's going towards apps on this one. He's going to do an apps peak, and then he's going to rotate around. So generally he would just hold apps like we spoke about for about up until 130. He would take his shot right here, as you guys can see, and he would instantly rotate around a different angle just because his presence is already known. He would spot right there with Marky. He smoked for Marky. He went towards side, generally like kept that control. Reaggressed, reaggressed towards lane. Well, no, not really reaggressed, but just put his pressure towards lane. And you're going to see that he swaps with his Moto guy as well. His Moto guy goes towards B2 support, and he plays Moto. So kind of like all over the map again. So if we look at it like that, he took his shot right here, dropped down, played towards Moto side, so he can control both, like help the rap guy right here, and help the side guy. As soon as Fang said it's all good and it's all clear towards long, he went towards short, rescoped short, had short control. As soon as Fang rotated, he went towards Moto to control rap. Pretty simple, support your teammates, be all over the map. Okay, so right here we're going to look at simple versus vitality. This round he goes for a short peek, lane peek, whatever you want to call it. And then he will see him rotate around and control the other area for his team. So as you guys see, he's running towards lane. Straight off the bat, the peek we spoke about already, the broom peek. You guys are going to see him do that. So he holds the broom, clears towards down like deep mid. Don't see anyone. Took a shot, killed Shocks, Rider, and Maxi. Smoked mid and instantly rotate towards Moto side. He tries to support mid in case they do a bulk pop right here with the Smolly. Then goes towards Moto side, stays close towards mid, then eventually will go towards library, and you see that he's controlling rap right now. So they can rap on him. He's still close to bid enough. He's close enough to bid to help him actually, but not too close to him where he can't control the other side for him, which is a rap, and they can't just rap on them. So you see he helps bid, he goes rap, helps bid, goes rap. So this is like another example of taking that peek, taking that shot, getting that kill, and falling back. Now talking about the peek, probably wouldn't be the smartest thing, but simple is simple. So yeah, it worked for him. But right here you can see he's just cleaning up, and Bid is right there helping, and yeah, that's how they won the round. So let's go to the next one. We're back right here with FaZe Clan versus OG. A really good match on Inferno to watch if you want to learn a bit about City side. So right here we're going to focus on Brokey. Right here he's doing the most simple round that an AWPer can do, but it's really impactful as it is. So he's going to molly down towards mid. It's a cheeky little molly that some teams throw. So he throws the molly generally and he just copes in. And I'm just gonna fast forward because it's basically that one thing. He just controls long for as long as he can right here. Meanwhile, his teams is focused towards like bulk and short, so it's really good that he controls it like that. And he still has bracket control, so the guys on B don't really have to fight for banana control. So this is really good by Brokey. He just controls that for the whole of the round, and that makes his team play really confidently, knowing no one is just walking up right there. So the simplest round had a lot of impact for an AWPer. So the next peak we're going to cover is also a Brokey peak. It's going to be the next round. He's instantly switching it up, going for a more aggressive peak, because right here, like against an eco, he didn't really want to like go for an aggressive peak to not get killed. So he goes to do like a bulk peak while his people rushing up. So right here, he's like just holding the jump up, while his teammates are pushing towards up. Towards ups, it's a more aggressive peak. If anybody would have jumped up, he would have seen his up. Then he just controls mid. He kind of got stuck in an awkward position when a guy put pressure on him on mid, eventually getting the kill right here. And then as soon as he got the kill, he would like fall back with the help of his teammate. And eventually they win the round with 2 guys ending at B. Okay, so the next round, right after that, Brokey does another peak, more of an aggressive fashion, even though it's an eco, but he still takes a long range duel, so it's favorable towards him. He knows that they're on a low buy. He's going to jump across, do the peek we already spoke about. Take a shot. As soon as he takes a shot, he repeaks into it because it's pistols. He heard the pistols. He goes towards long. And as we said, he took a shot towards lane. Now he instantly goes towards long. He's going to control long. Pretty much the same thing we spoke about right here. This is another peek by Brokey. Again, it's against a low buy. He knew it's a low buy, so he knew he can take the long range gun, the long range duel. Right here, he's jumping across doing the peek we already spoke about. He's going to generally shoot his op. He knows it's against a low buy, so he's going to re-peek into it. Then he goes towards long. So again, he shot his op, went towards long. Now he's controlling long, and he's going to do it for the rest of the round. So basically, again, show your presence in one place, rotate around the other. Okay, so same game. Mantu right now. Mantu is going to do the second peek we talk about, and you're going to see him rotate instantly after the peek. He will take a shot, not take a shot. He jumped across. Right here, didn't see anything. Went towards that peak. He didn't shoot, but they saw the upper. And instantly, as it is, he rotates towards B. Scopes, and obviously, like then they go towards A, so he went towards A. So those are perfect examples of how pro players play as well as how you should play. I'm pretty sure I covered most of the stuff that you need to focus on as an opera, and a lot of homework for you guys. You guys can watch different pros, how they rotate, why, when, and how. The general idea is information, obviously, but you would generally want to keep the opponent at question at all times of where you are and be a nuisance. I really hope this helped you guys to develop and learn a bit. I'm looking forward to making a lot of more of those videos of how-to videos and watching demos, your demos, professional demos, like talking about why a certain pro player did a certain thing, sorry. And yeah, in general, I want to put out more content for you guys. So drop me a follow on Twitter. I usually ask all the questions right there, and I'm responding to most of my DMs. If you ever want to see me put a piece of content that you would like, maybe even watch a game of you, just a demo that you guys will send me, I'll be more than happy to do that. I'm looking forward to put a lot more content towards you guys, give back a bit to the community, especially in this Christmas time that we don't really play. So yeah, just let me know what you guys looking forward to. I'm really appreciative of all the support I got so far on Twitter and stuff like that. Just make sure you DM me whatever you want to see next, and I'll make sure it happens. I have some plans already that I want to do in the future, but definitely taking suggestions and definitely want to make you guys happy. So thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know a bit of the feedback down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.